Are you struggling with trying to figure out what you're going to do, how you're going to spend your time when you quit drinking? Drinking occupies a lot of our time and energy. And when you take that away, it leaves this big void. And if you don't have a plan, that's going to lead you right back to relapse. So if you are on your 100th day one again, or if you've been sober for a while and you're feeling a little stagnant, you just need a jump start, this episode's for you. I'm going to let you steal my daily plan, how I structure my days, what to do, when to do it, and why. Let's do this.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Addiction Unlimited podcast, where you get to learn everything you want to know about addiction and recovery. I'm your host, Angela Pugh, co-founder of Kansas City Recovery, life coach, and recovering alcoholic. To learn more about me, you can listen to episode 0 on your podcast app or find us on the web at addictionunlimited.com.
Hello, my friend. Welcome back to another episode of the Addiction Unlimited podcast. I'm your coach, Angela Pugh. And in our journey to help you get more of what you want in life and less of what you don't, today we're talking about my daily plan. And I'm going to let you steal this. So stick around. I'm going to tell you exactly how to get it, how to download it. I'm going to kind of walk through it so you have a good understanding of why I put it together and why the pieces are all strategic and how they'll help you. Because ultimately, you want to get sober or you wouldn't be here listening to me. And it doesn't matter if you're on day one again for the millionth time, or maybe you've been sober 6 months or 10 years. This is a daily plan that can help anybody in any stage of the game. I still use this to this day. And not every day is a struggle for any of us, especially when we're super busy. You've got kids and jobs and significant others and family obligations. A lot of times we're really busy. But what you have to understand also is when you remove something from your life, anything, it leaves a void. There is a certain amount of time, space, and energy that all of a sudden is empty. This is the same if you are changing your eating habits, right? You're removing certain foods or removing certain restaurants. Like for me, it's always fast food. I have to remove that. And it leaves a void. There is habit there. It's what you're used to doing, how you're used to problem solving, how you're used to spending your time, even your mental time, right? Because we think about these things. Or if you start a new job, your schedule changes. It's different. In leaving one job leaves a void. Maybe it's the void of the people that you're used to seeing, the void of the schedule you're used to keeping. And now you have to do it differently. You have to do it a new way. Maybe you have to leave your house at a different time, right? There's some change. And when you remove something, it creates a void. A breakup, same thing. All of a sudden, this person is removed from your life and it changes all the surrounding factors in your life and it leaves a void. And you have to figure out how to utilize that energy and what to do with that time so you don't slide back into unhealthy habits. All of that to say, this isn't only about quitting drinking or another substance or a behavior. If maybe you're changing a behavior. I know a lot of us struggle with food issues or over shopping. I really went through this in a huge way a couple of years ago when I lost my dog, right? Obviously losing a pet is devastating on every level. But I remember coming out of my room the next morning after I had to put him down. And I remember walking out into my apartment and looking around and having this overwhelming sense of like, I don't even know what to do with myself. Because every decision I made revolved around him for almost 15 years. You know, everything I did starting my day was about what does he need? Does he need fed? Does he need to go out? Does he need whatever? He was sort of my North Star. You know, in 12-step terms, we call that like your higher power. A higher power is the thing that guides you. It's the thing that you make your decisions based on, right? That's a really loose understanding. But my dog was that thing for me. You know, everything I did revolved around him first and what he needed. So when I came out that first morning that I didn't have him, I just felt lost. I had no idea what to do with myself or how to start my day based on me because it had been so many years since I had done that. And you probably have the same relationship with alcohol, right? Because it's what you're thinking about. Maybe you're waking up in the morning and you're recovering from it. So, of course, it takes up your mind space and your energy and your thoughts because you feel like crap. And then you have usually like some sort of shame spiral that you're in for what you did or that you relapsed or whatever the thing is. Or maybe it's rationalization and justification of going, well, it's okay. I'm not going to beat myself up. These things happen, but still it's occupying your time, energy, and thoughts. When you remove it, you have all this time and you have to figure out how you're going to spend that time, especially in the very early days. If you're in your first week, your first 30 days, for sure, it is so important that you have some sort of structure to guide you through your day. And you hear us in 12 steps talk about one day at a time. You've heard me talk about 10 minutes at a time because there were many moments in my sobriety I really had to take it 10 minutes at a time. And I didn't even want to drink. I wasn't like craving drinking or missing drinking. I was really happy to leave booze behind. But my brain was conditioned to start drinking at a certain time of day. So when that time of day would come up, it would be all that internal chatter, right? The committee in my head going, it's that time. Are we going to drink? This is when we normally start drinking. And I had to get through those moments. And here's the key to this. It's really easy to fall back into your old behaviors if you don't have some sort of plan to practice new behaviors. And this is in every way. This is emotionally, right? Think about it's easier to call your ex or text your ex than to go out and meet someone new, right? If you don't have some sort of plan, you'll fall right back into those old behaviors. If I'm used to having a drink when I feel anxious, if I don't have a plan of how to get through feeling anxious, I'm going to fall back into having the drink because I don't have a plan of anything else to do. I don't have another solution. And that's where this daily plan is so significant. And this isn't super detailed either. You have a lot of room to make this your own. But in my daily plan, I'm going to tell you the times of day to be aware of, and I'm going to give you a handful of activities to do. So it's plug and play. And it's just going to give you a basic guide of how to spend your time, what to do with your energy, and where to focus your thoughts so you can get through all those days without falling back into old behaviors. And the first thing my daily plan starts with is how to start your morning, right? And it's affirmations. You hear me go on and on about affirmations. If you bought my journal, it starts with affirmations, right? Affirmations are I am statements. I am strong. I am capable. I am willing. I am brave. I am empowered. I am confident. Whatever your I am is, that's how you start your morning, with a strong, powerful approach to your day. Then I want you to break down your day into bite-sized pieces. So I think about this as I have my routines when I wake up, and then mid-morning, I do a little something healthy. Lunchtime, something healthy. Then an afternoon life snack, I call it, a little life snack, a little tidbit, something healthy in the afternoon. Then there's dinner time, and then there's bedtime. And that's kind of how I break this up. If my anxiety is really high, and if you've been with me for any length of time, you know I've been sober a long, long time. I still utilize this daily plan in 1,000 different situations. If my anxiety is super high, I'm going to this plan. And it's like every couple of hours, I'm going to do something to feed and nurture myself. I'm going to do something to bring my anxiety down, to allow me some relief from it, to make me feel better. You want to have a structure where you are consistently doing things to allow yourself relief so that you can feel better. Even if you don't think you feel bad, you want to always stay ahead of the ball. And that's why I break down my day in these simple spots where every couple of hours I'm doing something to refuel myself because I want to stay ahead of it. I don't want to wait until my anxiety is at a 9 and then I'm going to try to bring it down to a 2. I want to function where I am consistently keeping my anxiety and discomfort at a 2 so that it doesn't get the best of me. So when it spikes, maybe it's only spiking to a 5. When something happens that really throws me off, it's only spiking to a 5 instead of spiking to a 15 out of 10, right? So you want to stay ahead of it, stay ahead of the curve always. And there are a handful of things that you can do. And if you have your own tools, use your own tools. I give you some basic ideas in my daily plan of what you can do at these different times of your day. But if you have tools that already work for you, use them. But I want you to be intentional about using them and plugging them into these different times of the day throughout your day. This also isn't anything that has to be time consuming, right? These aren't activities that need to take 30, 40 minutes or an hour. These are activities that can take 30 seconds to 3 minutes. If you have more time, definitely spend more time on healthy things. But if you are like most of us, that you are super busy and you don't have a ton of time, these are bite-sized pieces that you can plug into your day. And the more frequently you're doing bite-sized pieces, the better you're going to feel. So do something inspirational. For me, that's YouTube videos. You know, I have a mindset makeover series where I send you 5 inspirational videos in a row, one each morning sent directly to your email. And it's just a super powerful way to start your day. I love to start my day with inspiration. Maybe it's reading a daily devotional or listening to something motivational. It could be anything, but just something that inspires you and makes you feel good. Another thing I have on here is do something for others, right? This is in 12-step world, we call service work, be service minded. I always function from a service-based state of mind because we are naturally as human beings so selfish and self-absorbed and self-consumed. All we think about, right? The committee in your head is only thinking about you. What do I need? What do I want? How do I want this to go? What am I afraid of? How do I want this person to act? How do I want this to turn out? Right? Me, 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 me. And that's just your brain. That's what your brain is created to do. There's nothing wrong with that, but we have to counter that by thinking of others. So do something for others. This could be as simple as making a cup of coffee for your partner. It could be bringing home your partner's favorite candy just because. It might be reaching out to somebody you haven't talked to in a long time. Like, hey, I'm thinking about you. How are you? Do something for others. What can you do to make someone else's day better? Another one, repeat your affirmations. Or if you don't want to repeat the same ones you did in the morning, then go online and Google powerful affirmations I can say to myself. And you'll get a million ideas that can really energize you and make you feel better. That's a great thing to do. Another one, get movement. Any kind of movement is fantastic. Our bodies and brains are created to function in a very specific way. And we do a lot of things on a daily basis that work against that. Movement is one of the most powerful healing things you can do. It gets your brain activated. Your brain needs movement. Your body obviously needs movement. Your muscles, everything, your digestion. You need movement. Now, that doesn't mean that you need to go run a marathon. It means, you hear me say this all the time. It means I don't care if you walk to the end of your driveway and back. I don't care what you do. I don't care if you just stretch. Go on YouTube and look up a 5-minute stretch routine and do it in the middle of your living room floor. It doesn't matter. Do something rather than nothing. That's the key. Get some movement. You can also go on YouTube and find 5-minute yoga routines. And that's what I'm saying to you guys. Like, we have this tendency to blow things out of proportion and make it seem like it has to be so big and time consuming. And oh my God, it's just too much. I can't do that. I can't meditate. I can't do an hour of yoga. Then don't do an hour. Do 5 minutes. You can do 5 minutes. You probably waste 5 minutes scrolling on your phone. You can better spend that 5 minutes getting some movement, but don't blow it out of proportion. Keep it right sized. Just get some movement. Stretch for 30 seconds. Walk up and down your house. Walk up and down your stairs a couple of times. Go walk around your house. Outside around your house, the perimeter of your house. Take your dog for a quick walk. Ask your partner, like, hey, do you want to go for a walk with me and walk down to the end of your street and back? It doesn't matter. Just get some movement. This really does a lot for your body and your brain and will make you feel better no matter what. It's not even your choice. It's just science. It's how it works. The next one is eat or drink something healthy. This is obvious, right? Like drink a glass of water, squeeze a lemon in it. Lemon's really good for you. It's de-bloating. Or have a soda water with lime, whatever makes you happy. But eat or drink something healthy. Listen, I'm a junk food junkie. My natural inclination is always to grab something quick and easy and yummy. And unfortunately, most of the time, those things for me are not healthy. So I've really had to be intentional about finding new snacks and things that are healthy and more in alignment with how I want to live my life. And that's what I want you to do. What can you do? What actions can you take that are in alignment with the life you want to live? And be intentional about doing the things that are in alignment with the life you want to live. If you want to be sober and you want to stay sober, you have to figure out how to do that. And that's what this daily plan is all about. The last one I have on this list is 2 minutes reframing thoughts. And I want to spend a minute here because this is important. Reframing thoughts. If you are looking for something specific and intentional to work on within yourself right now, this is a great one. Reframing thoughts. Most people naturally fall on the side of negativity. I don't really know why that is. I have some theories. I've read a lot about it. I definitely have some thoughts, but we do tend to be a little more negative than positive, right? We will always focus on the negative thing instead of the positive thing. You hear this a lot, like in restaurants. You know, I was service industry for 20 years. I was a bartender in restaurants and bars and nightclubs. And when somebody says, can I talk to your manager? 99.9% of the time, it's because they're mad about something. It's always something negative. It's negative feedback. Very rarely does someone take the time to say, hey, can I talk to your manager? And go, you know what? I just wanted to let you know this was a fantastic experience. Our server was incredible. The food was great. Really appreciate you. Nobody's doing that, right? We want to voice the negative. This is what you see on social media constantly. Everybody complaining about something, bitching about the way this happens or that happens, or politics or family relationships. Like it's just negative, negative, negative. And then when you have people like me and all these other accounts that want to be inspiring and motivating and happy and positive, and we don't get any views, right? Because people naturally want to be in the struggle, you know? You have to reframe those thoughts. And it's so simple when you start to understand it. And I really learned this in practicing gratitude and learning gratitude. But it's like, instead of saying, this day is so shitty, instead you say, wow, this day has definitely had some challenges and I'm really grateful I'm getting through it. I'm glad that it's almost over. I'm glad that I get to leave work in a little while and leave this stress behind. You like get into the positive instead of, oh my God, this day is so terrible and I can't believe my coworker said this to me or did that or missed this deadline or they want me to take on more responsibility. You get caught up in all that negativity and it drains your energy, your mental energy and your physical energy. Reframe your thoughts. If it's been a really bad day, take a moment to go, wow, I'm so glad this day is winding down and I get a fresh start tomorrow. If you get hit with an unexpected bill, this was a really big one for me because I have a lot of stress and anxiety around money. And I was stressed about everything. And when I would get a bill, if I didn't have the money, like it would just send me into a spiral where I could have gone, you know what? I am so glad that I have the ability to go out in the world and make money. I'm so glad like I can find some dumb shit around my house and sell on Marketplace and make some money real quick. I'm so grateful that I am a strong and physically capable person and I'm a smart person and I can figure this out, right? Reframe your thoughts. Now, if I got slapped with a bill or a car repair or dental work or something and I did have the money, that was my reframe. Now, listen, do I want to spend $500 at the dentist? Of course not. There's 2 million other things I'd rather spend $500 on. But can I be super grateful that I have $500 to spend at the dentist when I need it? Yes. I can, because there have been many times in my life that I didn't have that $500 to spend. So you see, you just reframe to be more on the positive side of things. When your kids are driving you crazy, remember a moment that they really made you smile. Remember how grateful you are that you get to have them and that really a lot of times they're wonderful. Kids are savage. They're really hard. It's one of the hardest things you'll ever do. They will test every piece of patience you have. They will test all of your kindness and everything. They are hard. But they are also one of the most rewarding things you will ever have. So reframe and get into that. Gratitude, of course, is on my daily plan also. And I just touched on a lot of those gratitude pieces. I have one of my dear friends and clients. She does coaching sessions with me. She's going through a gratitude exercise that I went through many years ago. And we've been talking a lot about gratitude. And it's just interesting how much we're not grateful for. And I think especially being in a country where we have a lot and we have everything we could ever possibly want at our fingertips. And you really forget to be grateful for the most simple things. And I remember in probably my first, maybe my second year of sobriety, my sponsor literally called me one day and I was probably bitching about something because that's all I did was complain about everything. I was always whining. I was always in that victim mindset. I can't believe this is happening to me. Why is everything so hard? I was always just complaining and being sad and overwhelmed with fear and that victim mindset, right? And he literally, my sponsor had me walk through my entire house and point out every single thing I was grateful for. He made me go in my kitchen and open my refrigerator. And he's like, why don't you be grateful that you can feed yourself today? Because a lot of people can't. A lot of people don't know how they're going to feed their kids tonight. And you probably have things in your refrigerator past their expiration date because you didn't even bother eating it. You wasted the money and you didn't bother eating it. Why don't you be grateful for that? Right? All those little things. He made me go down to my garage and be grateful for my car and be grateful that it starts every time I start it. And every little thing that we naturally take for granted and forget to be grateful for, start being grateful for. I say thank you and have gratitude for my car every single time it starts for me. Because car issues and repairs are one of my biggest fears. Like I just hate them, especially as a female. It's just overwhelming. I can't stand it. I try to always have a really nice car so I don't have to worry about repairs because it causes me so much stress. But you better believe your ass every single time I push that button and my car turns over, I am telling her thank you. Gratitude is major. Be grateful for all the people you come across in a day. Be grateful for the person that when you're walking through the door, they pause or hold the door and let you go first. Be grateful for the people that are spending their time to be your bank teller, to be your cashier at the grocery store. They're taking time away from their family to provide a service. Have a moment of gratitude for that. Have a moment of gratitude for all of us that are just doing the best that we can in a life that is really difficult and challenging. And life loves to throw everybody curveballs constantly. And we're all going through it. Instead of being mad at everybody and I hate people, I'm so tired of all of this glorifying, hating people. I see all this stuff on social media where people feel so okay with saying, I hate people. Well, you're a people too. You're a real pain in the ass too. So maybe have a moment of gratitude that everybody's doing the best they can and everybody is facing challenges and everybody is exhausted and we're in it together. And then go back to doing something for others and be service-minded and think, what can you do to make somebody else's day better? Those are the basic things on the daily plan. And again, these are just little things that you can do, plug and play, right? If you do something for others, maybe at your mid-morning time, you just shoot a text to somebody. Shoot a text to your mom and tell her that you love her, or your partner. Hope you're having a great day. Anything. Don't talk about yourself because it's about them. Don't say, hi, how are you? I'm doing great. Or this is going on in my life. Or this is what I'm say, hey, how are you? Let me hear about you. Let me be quiet and stop thinking about myself for 3 seconds and let me hear about you. What can I do for you? How can I make your day better? So I'm going to quickly recap the what and the when. So remember, wake up, mid-morning, lunchtime, mid-afternoon, dinner, bedtime. And the what? Do something inspirational, be service-minded, do something for others, repeat affirmations, get movement, eat or drink something healthy, or spend 2 minutes reframing thoughts. That's the what and the when. You can mix and match. You don't have to do them in any order. It's completely up to you. I set reminders either on my phone or on my smartwatch. I set reminders. So when it goes off, I know, oh, okay, I need to take 2 minutes and do one of these things. What you're doing is you're intentionally taking actions to nourish yourself and refuel your brain and body. Again, so that you're keeping your anxiety baseline at a 2 instead of a 9. You want to stay ahead of the curve. Don't worry about taking notes in this episode because you can get my daily plan. I have it all lined out for you. You can get it at addictionunlimited.com/plan. It's very simple, 1 page, and it's just getting the juices flowing and allowing you some structure so you can get through those days that are really challenging. You also don't have to do every single time of day and every single activity every day. Maybe you have a day that you just need a couple of things. Well, here's your things. Pick from the list and go do a couple of these things. Spend 1 or 2 minutes just doing a couple of these things. But my hope is this gives you a little bit of structure of what you can do. Especially you can use this too when a craving kicks in. When a craving kicks in, look at this and go, okay, which one of these activities can I do right now to feel better right now? And do it. That's how we get through this stuff and really put some focus on gratitude. Like I said earlier, if there is one thing that you want to work on right now, whether you've been sober 1 day or a year or 10 years, if there's something that you want to work on reframing your thoughts. Google it, go on YouTube, learn about it, what it means, how to do it. And reframing those thoughts will naturally get you in a more positive space for sure. And it changes your life. It really does. It sounds so simple. And I know we get frustrated when people say, think positive, but there is truth to this and science behind it. It works. If you can start viewing the world in a more positive sense overall, you will naturally feel better. And that will naturally take you into gratitude. When you start reframing your thoughts and being more positive, you get in way more gratitude. And gratitude is one of the highest frequencies you can live your life in. I'm not going to get into vibration and frequency, but that's another thing that I base my life on. It's incredible. And gratitude is one of the highest frequencies. So you want to be in as much high frequency as you possibly can. But this is the daily plan. Again, you can get it at addictionunlimited.com/plan. It's what to do, when to do it, some general ideas that will help you feel better, more empowered, and help you stay sober through all the days that you need help. I love you, my friend. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Again, that's addictionunlimited.com/plan. I will link it in the show notes, and I'll see you next week.
You've reached the end of another great episode of the Addiction Unlimited podcast. Candid and honest conversation about addiction and recovery. Be sure to visit us at addictionunlimited.com to join the conversation and access show notes and links to everything we talked about. Love this episode? Please take 30 seconds to subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes to help us improve and give you the information you want. Thanks for listening. See you next week.